Welcome to the True North Compliance Podcast, where we discuss regulatory and compliance issues for Canadian business.
Hello, I'm Sean O'Hara, and thanks for listening. Joining me today is Jim McCaughan, who is a professional services support advisor with the BC Real Estate Association. Jim has more than 4 decades of experience in the real estate sector as a realtor, a managing broker, and an instructor, and he was also in various governance roles, or in what we often refer to as organized real estate. He was first licensed in 1977 and became a broker in 1979 and has managed more than 120 associates. He's past president of the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board and the Chilliwack Real Estate Board. He was on the Real Estate Council of BC and on the Errors and Emissions Insurance Corporation of BC, and also is a former past president of the BC Real Estate Association. Well, thank you for joining us today. So, Jim,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, what motivated you to get into real estate?
Well, interestingly, after high school, I worked in a family furniture business for 10 years. And at the end of that time, my parents wanted to retire, and my wife and I had long discussions, but decided that we didn't want to continue in the retail furniture business. So I found myself unemployed. And after a period of looking to get a new job unsuccessfully, somebody mentioned that, why don't you think about getting into the real estate field? So I thought about it for a bit, didn't have a lot of other options on the table at the time. It seemed like it might be interesting. So I enrolled in the course, probably still hoping to get a regular job before the time came to pull the trigger, but that didn't happen. I would add, fortunately for me, that didn't happen. So I came into the business in sales, and what has followed has been a wonderful 45-year journey, as you alluded to, from sales to management to training, support, recruiting, teaching, and in my current role now for 2 years at the BC Real Estate Association, serving the needs of our profession and specifically now managing brokers.
What do you love about this industry and about what you
Well,
do?
it's always changing, which is certainly the job variety is ongoing. But while I was practicing real estate, I really, first of all, enjoyed the opportunity to help people that needed to or wanted to buy or sell a house. It sort of came natural to me. I guess my growing up in the furniture business and working in it for 10 years, I was primarily driving a truck delivering furniture primarily, but when things were busy, I got asked if I could go and talk to these people and that people, and I guess I didn't even realize I was getting a bit of real life sales training and customer service training, which I believe maybe had a bit of an impact on me being able to be fairly successful fairly quickly. And then on to being a manager, you got to work more one-on-one with salespeople, helping them solve issues and problems. And I often say that maybe there's something wrong with me because I actually kind of like conflict, and I like being able to help people, fix challenges and solve issues and get great job satisfaction. In my role currently, I'm really excited to be working along with Marty Douglas in the new professional managing broker support line, where our primary goals are to provide resources, tools, referrals to correct information to our managing brokers in the province of BC to help make their jobs a little more enjoyable and a little more efficient, and help to make sure that they stay in compliance with all the various rules and regulations and requirements that we have in the industry.
Neat, thank you. I wonder if dealing with furniture and conflict in your early days, was that helpful for a couple in selecting furniture in their house and what would go where?
Yeah, no, I actually stayed completely away from furniture. I One of the things I dislike is moving things for people because I did that for 10 years, driving a truck, carrying deep freezes and queen size beds and heavy items. So I prefer not to do that any longer.
Yep. And they were heavier then.
They sure were.
Freezers and fridges and
Yeah,
so on. Neat.
yeah.
So what are some of the biggest challenges that you face in your role now?
Well, I think probably on a broad scale, just keeping up with the constant change. There's been many people that have said it in many ways, but the only thing that's certain right now is change, right? We seem to be having it at a federal level, at a provincial level, at a municipal level. I also had the privilege to serve as a school trustee for 6 years when my kids were younger, and it was even the same back then in the 80s. There was lots and lots of change to things. And then I'd add in there my other challenge is keeping up with my 10 grandchildren as they grow into life.
10, that's neat.
Yeah, we've been blessed.
Yeah, good sized family. Good happy Christmases and holiday gatherings.
Yeah, we had our preliminary family dinner last week. It was 21 of us in the house, which was lots of fun.
Nice. I have 5 children, so yeah, I like having big families around.
Yep.
Was it fair to say that there's been a lot more regulatory oversight in this industry in the past few years?
Yeah, very fair to say. Our profession has seen a continual increase in regulatory oversight driven by local government, provincial government, federal government, and it comes from a various group of regulatory bodies like the current regulator for the industry is the BC Financial Services Authority. We've got FinTrack, who does anti-money laundering. We've got the Do Not Call list, which is federal, along with anti-spam and several others. So, yes, there's been far more. The industry doesn't even look remotely the same as the day I started in 1977.
That's neat. So you also have to be aware of the do not call and the anti-spam list.
Yeah, yes, we do.
And do you see more regulation coming or leveling off? Or what do you think the future may hold?
Well, I don't profess to have the crystal ball, but I don't see it. I don't see it becoming less. I think there's an ongoing desire to be looking at many industries. It's not just our industry that's going through all of these changes. It's affecting banking and many other professions and things. Probably medicine, law, all of the other major professions.
What do you think has, or from your experience, what have you seen that's gotten real estate in BC into the position that it's in?
Well, over the last few years, I think society as a whole has been experiencing ongoing, ever increasing accountability and scrutiny from, as I said, all levels of government, regulatory bodies. Sometimes the governments make decisions, we politely try to say, without thinking them through what the ramifications are. And then it's left to the regulatory bodies to create regulation and try to work with the industry and profession to make things workable for the government and the regulator, and more importantly than any of that, the general public.
How do you think the public perceives that?
Well, I think if you just turn on the news, I don't think they spend a lot of time thinking about the real estate industry. Certainly, housing prices and all the media around the housing crisis, if that's what you want to term it, is constant. And I guess the industry, as we always have and we always will, we will work with the regulatory bodies. We will work with the regulations that we're given, try to influence changes that are reasonable for the consumer. But we have always had challenges, and we've always managed, and we will continue to manage to deal with them, work with them to the best of our ability to comply. We are always going to be in compliance with the rules and regulations, and we just want to be able to do everything we can to influence good policy rather than have to deal with unfortunate policy. Some of the media attention is shifted away from the real estate profession or industry and on to the housing policies that have been announced by the provincial government to create the tens of thousands of dwellings that are going to be needed now, in the past, frankly, and in the future. And there's a lot of comment and, I guess, pushback on whether or not some of these rules and regulations on upzoning and streamlining and whatnot are appropriate, whether or not the cities will be able to have infrastructure, schools, roads, parks, transportation to handle, even if they could wave their magic wand and create several thousand houses very quickly. Will people be able to have a place to send their kids to school? Will they be able to get transportation? Will they be able to park their cars? Will there be shopping? There's a lot of unanswered questions right now.
Yeah, it's huge. It ties in with the community plans and all the infrastructure that has to go into place.
That's right.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And really, we live in paradise. People will continue to move here from all over.
Yes, it's still the land of opportunity. It's a wonderful country. I feel blessed to have won the lottery to be born in Canada. And I'm delighted that many other people who were not born in Canada have the opportunity to come here and improve their lives for them and their families. It's just wonderful.
In the area you live, is there a lot of debate about high density to low density?
Not anything that I'm completely aware of. We have a very restricted amount of land, as you know. There's a lot of land in Chilliwack, but much of it is in the land reserve, and no one that I know is advocating that that be removed or changed. So the only thing you can do when you can't go out is to go up. And so, yeah, we're seeing constantly houses being torn down where there was one house or there was two houses. Just around the corner from me here in Sardis, there was two homes down, and it's got seven row townhouses, four on one side and three on the other. They reconfigured the lot shape a bit, and that's going on all over the province, I think, for that matter. But it's certainly going on here in the Fraser Valley.
Yeah, it is in
Infill,
here too.
infill,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, in Victoria, where the single family homes, I live in the Langford area, West Shore area, they're being torn
yeah,
down, and a lot of pressure for mid, like
yeah.
5-story and up.
Yeah, yeah. We've had the luxury, if you will, of having Promontory, which is a large mountainous community, which is relatively easy to get up to, and it's had a lot of rolling hills kind of land that was not in the Land Commission, and so it's been developed. There's a massive amount of population residing up in the Promontory area, and that's now spilling over to the east to Ryder Lake a little bit. And I think that will likely continue.
Yeah, we're doing the same here with the hills going up. Although Victoria doesn't have a lot of farmland, some areas do, but it's not the fertile valley that the Fraser Valley is.
No,
Beautiful with all the mountains surrounding Chilliwack.
yes, it's a wonderful place to live.
Yeah, yeah. My brother still lives in Chilliwack. He says whenever he travels or when he used to travel, he'd love coming back because of all the views.
Yeah, whenever I go, people often say, "You were born and raised in Chilliwack. Like, why do you still live there?" And I don't even necessarily try to even answer that question. I just say, "Well, come here for a week and take a little drive up to Cultus Lake, take a drive over to Harrison, walk along the Rotary Trail at the Vedder River, where we have world-class steelhead fishing. Go to the Fraser River, where there's world-class salmon and sturgeon fishing." And other recreation. It's just a remarkable area.
And a close drive too to Vancouver and everything that
Yeah,
offers.
hour to an hour and a half from the Canucks games if you want to go.
Yep. And the ocean for people who love that.
Yeah, White Rock.
The US. Yeah, that's neat. Okay. Is there any charity or nonprofit organization that you would like to give a plug to or support?
Well, we're big supporters of the Chilliwack Community Services. They do a broad range of things for the Chilliwack area, and there are lots of different things. At BCREA, at our recent managing broker conference, the charity of choice was Covenant House, which also has a tremendous mandate. So those are a couple if anybody would be interested.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. It's been a delight speaking with you.
Thank you, Sean, for the opportunity, and I'll look forward to talking to you again.